Hey everyone, I'm working to hit 1,000 subscribers and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy this content, please hit that subscribe button right now.
All right, Broncos country, the national media was comically wrong about this franchise once again, but this time it's this fan base getting the last laugh. And on top of that, there's some genuinely bizarre trade speculation floating around involving two key Denver players that deserve some real pushback. Let's get into all of it. Let's start with the good news. Courtland Sutton just got voted by his own peers into the NFL Top 100. A genuinely amazing milestone and the first time in his career he's landed on that list. This is long overdue. He's exactly the kind of receiver every team in this league would love to have as their true WR1, a phenomenal pure catcher of the football with zero diva energy attached. A genuinely elite compliment to Bo Nix. But here's what makes this specific honor even sweeter. This isn't some media panel or outside analytics group making this call. This is players around the league, guys who actually watch film and compete against him, voting him all the way up near the 70th spot overall, ahead of several other names with bigger national reputations. That's genuinely significant validation coming directly from the people who understand the position best. And here's where this gets deliciously ironic. Rewind back to this exact time last year, when a prominent him again this year. And if that pattern holds, don't be surprised if Bo Nix follows an identical trajectory next year too, going from being left off the top 10 entirely to firmly entrenched inside it. Now let's get into the real meat of today's discussion, because the Broncos are currently being linked to a couple of trade rumors that deserve some serious pushback, and honestly, they're a perfect example of the national media simply not understanding the actual value of this specific roster. A recent widely circulated article ran through one realistic trade idea for every single team in the league. And here's the thing worth noting right away. For most other rosters around the league, the framing was straightforward, identifying a specific need and suggesting a corresponding outside addition to fill it. For Denver specifically, the article couldn't identify a real, obvious hole on this roster. Instead, it flipped the framing entirely, suggesting Denver should be trading players away rather than adding anyone. Specifically, it proposed moving on from both cornerback Riley Moss and receiver Marvin Mims. Let's start with the Moss suggestion. The reasoning given leans on the fact that this cornerback room has genuinely become remarkably deep. From a rookie standout who broke out immediately last season to the presence of arguably the best cornerback in all of football anchoring the room, to a coaching staff that's consistently proven it can get elite production out of its corners. Fair enough. That's genuinely deep, talented depth. And yes, Moss is entering a contract year. The same basic argument gets applied to Mims, also in a contract year, with the reasoning citing a promising rookie receiver already drawing early comparisons to a notable NFL veteran, another receiver who keeps adding muscle and improving each year. Sutton's now validated status as an elite option. And of course, the blockbuster addition of Jalen Waddle this offseason. The argument concludes this receiver room has simply become too crowded and that Denver won't realistically have the cap space to pay everyone long-term. That last part is genuinely false. This organization would actually have the necessary cap flexibility to pay both of these players long-term if that's the direction they wanted to go. But let's dig into why trading either of them away right now would be a genuinely asinine decision regardless. The suggested return in that article was a realistic third or second round pick for each player. But here's the reality worth understanding clearly. If Denver simply keeps both of these players through this season and they walk in free agency next offseason and sign the kind of $18 to $20 million contracts elsewhere that most evaluators around the league expect them to command, this organization gets compensatory third-round draft picks in return automatically for both of them without giving anything up in the meantime. So accepting anything less than a genuine third-round pick right now for either player would mean giving up a player for essentially zero real value compared to simply letting the process play out naturally, all while getting to actually use both players to help chase a championship this season in the meantime. To be fair, if a team desperate enough at a specific position, say a division rival dealing with real cornerback issues, wanted to offer something in the range of a late first-round pick, a second-round pick, or a meaningful pick swap, that's a conversation genuinely worth having, but short of a real first or second-round offer. There's no realistic scenario where trading away either of these two players makes sense right now. And here's the deeper point worth making. Depth doesn't matter until suddenly it desperately does. Look back at just last season. The number 3 receiver in this room missed multiple games, including playoff time. Mims himself missed a couple of games. Troy Franklin missed time too, including a playoff game. There was an actual stretch last season where multiple key receivers were out simultaneously in the same game, forcing this offense into a genuine break glass in case of emergency scenario, relying on a deep depth option just to field a functional receiver room. Imagine how valuable it becomes to simply not have to worry about that kind of scenario this season, because the depth is already sitting right there on the roster. The same exact logic applies at cornerback too. This secondary has now taken real hits in back-to-back seasons. Losing Moss specifically would strip away crucial depth at a notoriously physical, injury-prone position. Remember what happened the last time this specific cornerback room got thin due to injury? Watching an opposing team's receiver put on a legitimately terrifying performance because the depth simply wasn't there to compensate. When you're sitting inside a genuine championship window, that's simply not the time to start selling off proven valuable depth pieces for anything less than a real significant return. Bo Nix's window is wide open right now, and legitimate roster depth is worth everything in a moment like this. Personally, there's a real argument for preferring to ride out this season with both of these players fully intact, even if that means potentially losing them for nothing. Your thoughts in the comments, and